Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today I bankrupt joined once again by Jake, and like always, Fluff.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
And today's matchup is Jake versus Aaron. Unfortunately, Aaron couldn't join us today. It happens. But it is Jake playing Syn Shenron, and Aaron's brought Gogeta, which is pretty cool. We haven't actually seen Aaron in a long time, so I think he's just playing a lot of decks that he's very familiar with or wanted to play. So
Also, interestingly, Aaron and I are using the same sleeves for this contest. So if anyone takes control of anyone else's battle card for any reason, things could get a little bit complicated.
which could happen with a particular unison, but that's a -4. And Mecha Gabor is it 20? What's his battle power again?
He's a 15. He's a base 15.
So
So he's pretty easy to fight.
and it doesn't help that the 6-drop Gogeta, if I'm correct, on swing or when you declare an attack, like it will neg that thing down pretty quickly. So I guess it might be kind of hard to actually pull that off.
Yeah, you see it's my first charge, actually.
Going off with the classic Oceanus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's buttons on both. They're there for a reason. Let's get into today's matchup.
So grabbed an Oceanus with Oceanus. Wasn't really better targets in my grab. So I think that's it. I don't think I have a very strong turn one this game.
No ball
Yeah.
to play.
No ball to play and no ice, even off of the Oceanus, which is kind of awkward. I probably for sure would have hit it had I gone second and got the top 5 from my leader as well, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
The good news is that being that Aaron is playing Gogeta, you have time. You're not under any particular clocks here. I mean, things can get sticky once he gets the 6-drop Gogeta out there, but you're not going to see that until at least turn 3. So you shouldn't be experiencing a ton of pressure here.
No, and I just took the damage off this, and he actually whiffed off of his top 7, which is kind of unusual. And you see that my second Oceanus, I also milled a ball, which kind of sucks.
Also, he's playing the Vegeta Unison combined with that package can ramp its markers up. So if he establishes that before the chain, he can immediately take one life away from me, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there's a couple ways he can crit life for free as long as my board is empty, but I don't really plan on letting him do that anytime soon, especially considering what the list is capable of. So far, all Oceanuses have been able to find me as more copies of Oceanus, and finally got into a ball here. Then I just immediately go ahead and crack it. I played enough Gogeta to know that he's not really going to be able to kill this very easily on his turn 2. So I feel pretty safe just going ahead and locking the leader down and leaving it at that.
It was also really smart that you didn't swing into him there. Didn't put him one step closer towards awakening.
Correct.
Yeah. So he's not going to be able to swing with his leader, which really, really hurts this deck.
Yeah. Getting to look through the top 7 to find extra cards is really nice. It's just a really strong effect in general. And he just smartly goes ahead and snipes it with Kaioken. I do get to play a ball back out and draw a card, which I've never actually activated off the 4-drop before. But since he doesn't really have much of a turn 2 play and can't really swing with the lead, he might as well just undo what I did on my last turn.
Yeah.
It does set you back 1 energy, which, is great. And it won't get the effect, because if I'm correct, the leader has to be in rest mode, right? Or the card has to be in rest mode, yeah.
Correct.
But I was going to say earlier, like, once you establish a train to any degree, you're kind of good. Until, obviously, he's able to pop all of them, because I think once all the 4-drops are in the drop area, like, there's no way recovering them, right?
Unless I just tap 6, but at that point I would just grab a 9 out of the drop area.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Aaron's got planned to deal with this 9-drop. Gogeta can't cleanly deal with it unless the Syn Shenron player opts to block after it swings, and the Syn Shenron is the target for the -20. But in that case, I don't think the Syn Shenron player will block with their -20 Syn. And you're also going to get a turn of its skills being negated. So the first turn that Gogeta comes down, you don't have to deal with the neg, you don't have to deal with the double strike, which is just going to buy you more time. And Syn Shenron is really good at dealing with bosses that are bombs.
Right. It's also going to turn off the can't be KO'd effect, which means you just run straight into it with your revenge blockers.
Yeah. Or a Haze Shenron.
Yeah, something of that nature. This is a really smart play, considering what his deck is capable of here. Now that this Sid Unison is in play, he's able to swing at all of my battle cards in active mode, so my 1-drops are no longer safe, and even leaving a card in active mode isn't going to guarantee that it's not going to be attacked on that turn.
Now, I know Aaron's been on the game for a while. That's an interesting secret rare. Unfortunately, he's not here to talk about that. He's playing the SS4 Gogeta.
Mm-hmm.
But once you establish, if I'm correct, you can no longer play cards, right?
I'm not sure how that secret rare is worded, honestly.
While it's on the field, you cannot play cards.
So that's just an interesting one to play. 'Cause I think it costs 5 to play, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, activate main, if all your energy is the same color, play, draw 2, switch 2 of your energy to active mode. Opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and 2 of their battle cards and send them to the warp.
Did you just make Aaron change his unison area?
No, he did it to make fun of me.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, it's supposed to be by your leader. You're right. I just do it over here. He was like, I like that better.
Yep.
I think he was just mocking me.
It was also really interesting to see when Aaron swung with his lead and he could add an extra card. He added Wolfang Fist instead of adding a Violent Ray, which he saw off that top 7.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just not experienced enough to know how this deck works, but Violent Ray is exceptionally good in this matchup.
If he can establish these Gogeta chain next turn and you do not kill the unison, once he passes to you, as soon as you swing with a battle card, any card that has 35,000 power or less will be immediately killed by that chain.
Yeah, he's I think his plan here is to try and piece together a kill on this 9-drop. And if you look at his hand, he's got another copy of Wolfang, looks like a Yamcha. He's just got plenty of see, there's a Wolfang right there. So he's just got plenty of pressure.
Yeah. And he's burned 2 Wolfangs here.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he was expecting you to play a card afterwards. Because he had a Merciless Barrage in his hand, so he could have established that, and that would have finished negging out the 9-drop.
Exactly, which is kind of what kept me from playing anything else that turn. With my 9-drop in a weakened state, I don't really want to lose it right before he's about to start evolving. So
he could have Merciless Barrage on the Unison play.
Right.
And then hit your Syn Shenron, which would have kept you from swinging with the Syn Shenron. But it looks like he wants to awaken himself here. So I think you doing Merciless Barrage after seeing that he picked up a Wolfang Fist would have kept you from even swinging that turn.
Yeah. And here he's going into Meki, and currently his leader doesn't really have enough power to contest. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he just goes ahead and awakens for no value here. And unfortunately, Meki's effect is going to proc, and I'm just going to rest one of his energy down.
Yeah. Which hurts, but it looks like he's able to at least start the Gogeta chain here. Based on the cards in his hand, he's just missing the 6-drop.
Yeah, if there's a 6-drop somewhere in that pile, ostensibly he can go up the whole chain this turn.
Now, if correct, I think he was surprised by the auto on Mechagabora, right?
Right.
Because he wasn't
Yeah,
expecting you to tap down the energy.
a lot of people forget about that.
And here I just go ahead and block with Meki to protect the 9-drop, and if he wants to kill it now, he's going to have to spend a little bit of energy.
Not just a little bit of energy, but like whatever he plays won't have double strike, so he'll have to spend more than one card just to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess now if he plays a 6-drop, because you no longer have the 9-drop on the board.
Correct.
How did he neg out the Syn Shenron there? I know when the Gogeta plays,
The unison effect.
He has a minus 15. I think minus 15.
Gotcha.
+1 is minus 15 to 2 targets, and then Gogeta comes in, and now he's swinging at the 1-drop ball that the 9-drop played back out, which he can do thanks to the unison's permanent effect. So I just Nimbus no discard, seeing that he's tapped out, and if he wants to overrealm to kill my 1-drop, I think I'll just let him.
I think it's just your... I might be wrong.
It's red battle cards.
Yeah.
Or red cards.
Yeah, I think it's red card.
So if he had like a Piccolo or King Piccolo New Ruler in hand, he could have used that to swing into it, but...
Yeah, at that point, if he's willing to do that, I'll let him.
Right. Exchanging a Piccolo for a 1-star ball is a good exchange.
Yeah.
Now, he could Merciless Barrage in second timing window, but then he'll turn off any other counter plays he possibly has. I don't know if he plays the Videl in his deck or not, but that would definitely be a good one to play.
Right. Here I'm going to look for another ball now that he can attack my chains, but unfortunately there's no more left in the deck, so this ice just fizzles on me.
That's rough.
Yeah. I've got a lot of energy to spend this turn, so I'm really thinking about how much I'm going to need and what I'm going to do with the attacks and resources that I have.
Yeah.
So here
him being tapped out too, the only thing that he's got to work himself through is going to be Merciless Barrages and Wolfang Fists.
Correct. So he go ahead and uses Merciless. I'm going to activate the effect and actually pick up a life for once. I hardly ever do that, but I'm at such a life lead and hand disparage, or a hand difference at this point, that I need some kind of juice.
Syn Shenron tends to play a lot of its games with a very low hand differential, where your opponent might be sitting on 9-10 cards and you're sitting on like 4 or 5. And that just tends to be how Syn Shenron plays its games. But when you consider the fact that you're swinging very often with 30Ks, it's going to cost your opponent 3 to 4 cards out of hand to combo out of those.
Yeah.
So it more than makes up, especially when you consider how cheaply you play these 30Ks.
Correct. And he's at 3 life. I'm just going to go ahead and play the large guy here and see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Natural's at 30k if correct, right?
Right.
So he's right now at 15. It comes down to what do you want to combo? What can he combo?
So he gets out.
And now he's going to have a lot of interesting choices that he's going to have to make on his turn. Does he fear that triple strike, or does he fear the flexibility of that Omega Shenron? You don't have a 9-drop, so you're not going to be negating the 6-drop as it comes down. I think I see one in his hand here.
So, I'm saying he's necking down, and he's going to tap 3 to play the Kaioken Goku, the bull that filled up. Like I said, unfortunately he couldn't join us. When you were playing the match, this is a very... If he can't kill you this turn, all that stuff's coming back next turn.
Right.
Was he aware of that by any chance? You guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's really unfortunate that he has not seen a 6-drop Gogeta here.
Yeah. especially after fusing and getting that extra draw too. Really sucks not having seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the +1 on the Meki Kabura from last turn, the Gogeta he currently has in play is stuck in rest mode.
If I'm him, I'm deeply considering burning super combos just to draw for that 6-drop. That 6-drop would put in so much work with no Sen being on the field.
Oh, yeah. So here he's going to go ahead and fuse and finish off my Omega. The other Omega has barrier thanks to the Oceanus from last turn. And then here he looks like he drew into 2 copies of the 6-drop.
Yeah. Which is going to be very good. Very, very good. Especially considering it looks like he's still at 4 life here.
Yeah, he's at 3.
Is it 3? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I played the Triple Striker last turn to try and kind of force the issue. So here I'm going to go ahead and block with Meki. And he's left himself, looks like 1 energy in active mode for like Violent Rays or a Floodgate of the like. And unfortunately, Meki is going to remove that possibility. I think I'm like, we still have this battle.
Yeah.
And
oh, that's so unfortunate.
And then I'll just go ahead and block with the Omega. We'll rest the last attacker down with power.
Very good power of the Super Saiyan there.
Yeah.
And your drop area should be fairly stacked. I know you've had to remove 7 to play out the Triple Striker, but you should have a Triple Striker. You've probably got a Syn Shenron. You've probably got a Haze. Maybe you have an Oceanus still. I don't know. So there's going to be a lot of pressure coming down the pipe here.
Oh, yeah. At this point, I think I'm trying to swing and see what hits the table. Pan is a very real possibility at this point. And if he pans off this leader swing, I know not to tap 6 and try and devote my resources elsewhere. But with no pan coming down, like I didn't know which secret rare he was running. At this point, I'm just trying to put a good amount of combo fodder in the drop area, force whatever I can out of his hand before I try and make a play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about burning 2 super combos on that. The leader's just a single strike. It may have been easier to take that damage and save the super combos for this right here.
Yeah, he does still have the big minusing effect on the Gogeta.
Which is a one-time thing, though, unfortunately.
Right, but it's basically a negate in and of itself. So I think you're right, taking that point of damage there and maybe seeing what comes out of that life before you start comboing could have maybe helped out in this situation. But I just go ahead and Xeno and try and rip a few cards from his hand.
Wait.
And he showed me. I was like, you don't show me. And then he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and scoot.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a Wolfang Fist. That's the only thing that would have done something. But like right there, you had a triple strikes afterwards. I mean, it didn't really matter at that point.
Yeah. It's just the inevitability of Syn Shenron is very nice. It's kind of almost overpowered to have that kind of effect tied into a leader card.
And I mean, and most times when we see it played, a lot of times by Fluff and just more recently you, since it doesn't really need to go to turn 6, but if it does, it's very nasty.
Yeah, and that's that turn 6 effect is as much as it's a a finisher for the deck. It's also a liability point against certain colors. Red is one of those colors that it's very safe to do it on. It just destroys red. If you get to turn 6 and you're able to do that 6, and they don't have an open energy for Violent Ray, which was very wise for you keeping that Mecha Kabora up for that reason alone. Like, it just ruins red's day.
So, with that being said, thank you for opportunity in today's matchup. Keep in mind, just button symbol and on the screen. Wolf does the outro.
Really awesome game. Nice to have Aaron back at the shop. We're happy to see. I know he's got a couple decks that he's working on, so we'll see a little bit of variety coming down the pipe from him. Read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and as always, fluff out.